But there are many at times that we don't recognize because we have our eyes fixed on man, one another, people. And our salvation does not come through people. It comes from Jesus alone. You may not like the pastor, you may not like Reverend Jenkins, you may not even like me. Man will fall short of your expectations every time.
Amen.
But tell someone you better recognize who's speaking.
Amen.
Everything in this world of any value has a potential for a counterfeit. Your money, your identity, your jewelry, and even Jesus. Anything that you put in place of the living God, including people, becomes a counterfeit God.
That's right. Go ahead.
But Jesus told us the way that we recognize is through the fruit. So we have to look at the tree that bears good fruit, and we are that tree. We are part of that tree, the branch. And so we need to look at the fruit that is coming from those individuals.
Right.
So as I continue to think about this, and the Holy Spirit shared with me, I just want to share a few points with you, and then I'll be through. There's 3 reasons that were brought to my attention as to why we may not know him, why we may not recognize him. And one of those is that you may not be positioned. The word position means that the manner in which a person or thing is placed or arranged, our attitude or our posture, our disposition. You know, we have a construction business, my husband and I. And so if I was to attend a health fair and try to expect to get construction leads, that might be a little impossible. I would be more positioned if I would attend a VIA Parade of Homes or a home and garden show. We need to be in a place where we're open to meeting him. And for some, it might come in a place of sorrow, a place of despair or depression or emptiness. It may come in a place where we are seeking something greater than ourselves. It's kind of like having a dropped call, and you're moving around trying to find the best position to get that reception. You may need to stand in worship and lift up holy hands and open your mouth and let it flow from your mouth and give praises to God and no longer sit in your chair. Maybe you haven't had any real tragedies that you think you haven't been able to handle. Well, I've ministered to many people who have told me, I just am not ready right now. I've got things I want to do in my life. But it's kind of like life insurance. You don't think you need it until there's a tragedy, until something happens. But is this an insurance you can afford to do without? Aside from not being positioned and maybe not being prepared, the third thing I want us to consider is maybe we need a paradigm shift. A change in the way we think about things. Perhaps you've had past experiences with religious people, fathers, mothers, friends, and they sent you running in the opposite direction. These people may have been the closest thing to God that you ever experienced. Deciding at that point you want nothing to do with it. But I can tell you this, that you don't base your relationship on another person or God, on someone else's experience.
Amen.
And I want to share with you, I was at a prayer meeting, actually a lady who used to attend this church years ago, and it was a women's prayer meeting. And my personal experience, although I had others, this was a turning point for me. And as we were there and preparing to begin, another lady walked up and said, "We may begin now. He's arrived." I've never heard anyone talk like that about the Lord. So I began to ask myself questions. How does she know? What is she talking about? Who is arrived? So as I'm looking for this male, I was about to experience something that would be the turning point of my spiritual walk. And it will leave you changed in your philosophy and your knowledge of God. You will have a whole new way of relating to Him than you ever thought possible. Lord, our Master, He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He is our Prince of Peace. He is the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He is the Creator of all things. He is the life-giving breath. And that's how we should love Him. It's not enough to just want all the gifts and the toys from Him. He wants our hearts.
Yes.
And we don't learn about God by studying Him more. We learn more about Him through our yielding to Him, being obedient to Him, and allowing Him to come into our day-to-day activities. It's not about the messenger. It's about who He is and recognizing when He's speaking to us. There have been many people throughout my life who have talked to me and who've been sent by God to speak to me. And I didn't necessarily care for all of them. But I recognized and was obedient when He was speaking. And maybe no one has ever told you that God is not religion. See, the word religion is a Greek word that comes from the word religio, which means to link back to the one. He is a relationship. He's not religion. He's the living God. And guess what? If you get this relationship right, then all other relationships will fall in line because you will start to see people the way God sees them.